Cliff Hudson from Hudson's Imports, joining us to talk about water damage in vehicles. Good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Same here. Great.
You're a busy man. Water damage or water leakage can get into a car a number of ways. One of the ways that people don't realize sometimes is by a sunroof. Tell us about that.
Yeah, you know, years ago, finding a wet car was really an anomaly in our world. Today, it's constant. And yes, now don't drive into the crosstown when it's flooding, okay?
Yeah.
Your car's not a submarine.
Yeah.
But short of that, a lot of times people don't realize, they'll call up and they'll say, I am constantly wiping water off the inside of my windows. Hey, your car is wet inside. But they don't know it because it has leached in through a clogged sunroof drain or a failed sunroof drain tube. It wicks down behind the interior. You don't see it. And then suddenly one day, if it's left alone, it'll actually get deep enough that you can actually see water in the floor.
Yeah.
There's a couple of ways, sunroof and plenum. The plenum is the area under the hood where your car sucks in its air for the heating and air conditioning system. That also can stop up, and if the drains in the plenum stop up, the water literally dams up to the point that it runs right into the heater and AC unit and lands in the car.
Wow. With your sunroof, a lot of times the sunroof, the automatic sunroofs or mechanical sunroofs, they go back. They sit on a rubber seal.
Right.
Now that rubber seal needs to remain fresh and it needs to remain preserved. If it starts to crack, you're going to start to see some water.
Well, that perimeter seal really only does three things. Number one, it kills wind noise. Number two, it stops the intrusion of large debris. But number three, it slows the water to a controlled drip. Because every sunroof is actually made to leak. Your brand new car sunroof leaks. But what it is sunroof is a sliding panel suspended over a smaller opening, and that water drips in a controlled manner and runs into a little diversion canal. Whichever the way the car's leaning, it runs out that drain and exits the car.
Canals, yeah.
Exactly.
You guys see a lot of water damage, either from folks, again, going on the crosstown, or there's leakage from the sunroof that gets down. Show us what you got with this example.
Well, the worst thing is the buildup of mold and mildew. We're going to get a tight camera shot here. There we go. Now, people come in and say, hey, look, Cliff, my car was wet, but see, it's all dry now.
That's carpeting right there.
Yeah. Here's the problem. Here's what you don't see. This is a piece out of a car. This is literally like a sponge. This foam is literally like a sponge, and that just soaks it up. When it sits there forever, mold and mildew, and literally you will not believe how badly a car can begin to smell after it sits there for some time. Now, there are some cases, obviously when you drive into the crosstown, that's an accidental loss. Your insurance company is going to step in there and assist you. There are some insurance companies that will also assist in the event of a sunroof intrusion. Not necessarily all of them, because by definition, every insurance claim must meet two criteria. It must have been sudden and accidental. Some insurance companies say, well, clogging AC drains or failing AC drains, gee, better maintenance would have prevented that. Those insurance companies don't like paying for water intrusion unless it's an accident, and the ones who really don't care will pay for it in any manner, even, unfortunately, if you left your sunroof open or your windows down. That's a sudden and accidental loss, and your insurance company, again, if you have proper coverage, can't have liability only, but your insurance company can step in and actually cover the claim.
If the carpet gets wet, if the foam gets wet, the insulation gets wet, just airing it out or put a fan in there is not going to take care of it.
Not necessarily, because if we have time for one more tight shot, I'm going to show this. This little shiny part back here, that's actually a plastic backing separating this foam from this carpet. And while the water will leach in any cavity it can find or any opening it can find, that primarily prevents it from evaporating out. So, again, you can get this section dry, but you can't get underneath. And the longer it sits there and just festers, the worse things get.
Mold, mildew, and if you stay in your car a good bit of time, it can actually make you sick.
Absolutely.
Cliff Hudson, thank you so much. How can folks get a hold of you?
Oh, we're right across the street beside the post office, 884-2573.
Very good. Thank you, Cliff, so much. Now over to Aaron.